Okay, ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Taoreta. Wow. I feel like that was a little bit, I watched a bit of a mini-series there. Needed a bit more information. Well, you're going to get some now, because what we're going to do now is we're going to do a quick, it's not going to be quick, we're going to do a Q&A with the people behind Taoreta. 4 chairs? 3, 4? Yep, okay, cool. Yes. So we're going to do some question and answers. I've got some questions. Then you're going to have some questions, I'm sure. So we'll come round and then we'll ask them of you. You're thinking there's 3 people on the stage. And when they're all sat down, I'll introduce you to who they are. A couple of them you'll know. Okay. So, from left to right, we have... Oh, he's just got up. Oh, okay. Of course you do, yeah. Okay. Oh, hello. It's a bit like musical chairs, isn't it? Right, so we've got DJ Icon. Music producer extraordinaire. We've got Lonsky. Lyrical samurai. And you don't know this chap. This guy right here is the guy that is responsible for what you've just been watching. Okay? This is Zubair, Born Ready Films. I'm going to get over here because I feel like I'm in the way. Right, okay, so the very first question I'm sure that you have, that I'm going to ask on your behalf, right, is Taoreta. What does it mean?
1, 2. Okay, right. Well, basically, the whole concept of Taoreta is in the Japanese for the fallen, so those that have fallen. So the kind of representation of mankind and the whole uplifting experience of doing something positive and different comes into the name. So, yeah, that's where it comes from. So our journey is the rise of the fallen.
Oh, I like that, don't you? Rise of the fallen. Okay, awesome, awesome. Would you like to add anything?
With me?
Anybody?
No, just like what I consider, innit? Like for us, Taoreta, it means to inspire people. It means to be as creative as possible, you know, without having any barriers in the way. You know, we started this journey 6 years ago. Yeah, and the EP's taken us about 4 years, and then the visuals took us about 3 years as well. So it's just amazing for us to all just put this all together and showcase it to people. And we appreciate the fact that, you know, you guys are enjoying this as well. Obviously, the last 2 videos that you saw there, they're not even out yet. Yeah, they're exclusive. Like, they won't be out till maybe June time. So you guys have got a massive sneak peek. Do you want to add anything more, bro? You sure? Why are you being shy for?
No, so I'm gonna ask Zubair a question. So you'll need the mic, Zubair. Right. So the locations that these videos were taken on, were they something that you had a hand in organising?
To be fair, I think it was more of a collaborative thing. We basically, Simon is one of the main, like, he's like, I don't know, he just finds locations in, like, Leicester and stuff like that. He just, you know, he just tends to find, like, some secret locations in Leicester. I don't know where he pulled them out from, if I'm honest with you, but he managed to keep pulling them out of nowhere every single time we did the videos. And the main thing is, obviously, as you know, Leicester has got some really hidden gems, and obviously, so we always kind of, from the start of, you know, the projects that we did, we always kind of thought we want to do everything locally first, and then if we really need to, then we can venture out, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Simon's the real MVP, and then even Lone as well kind of pulled it through, and they used to do a lot of the location scouting beforehand. And then we would kind of like, we'd go through a tick list of which is the good locations and what would work for the actual, obviously, which, for each individual track. So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, we kind of used to go through a tick list and then basically narrow it down. And then we used to basically just film wherever we needed to, basically, what matched. Yeah.
Great, okay. The other questions that I've got, I mean, in our collaborations and, in the past, DJ, icon, in your own right, you do, you've worked with a lot of artists and you do your own thing. Lonsky, you do your own thing. You've worked with a lot of different artists as well. How did this collaboration come about?
I think it was in the summer of 2016 at the Riverside Festival. I met Simon for the first time, got introduced to him. And then from there, we just started talking to each other. There was a lot of respect, mutual respect for one another in terms of artistry. And then afterwards, it became more family, we regard each other as family, all of us three, we do. So that's how we came about. I mean, for the first 3 years of our working relationship, we were just performing. So it was just DJ and MC. And then one day I was like, yo, can you make music? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so why the hell are we not making music? And then from there, yeah, we've just not had to look back, It's been challenging at times, especially when everybody's got their own ideas and whatnot. But I think what we've done so well, and including Born Ready Films as well, is we're on the same wavelength, So, of course, you can work with many people and get on with them, but being on the same wavelength, I believe it's really, really rare. Like, there's been so many occasions where I'm thinking of something, and these two, they've said it, and I'm like, wow, this is freaky, like, seriously. And in my almost 15-year journey, I've never had that. I've never been able to click with different people as much as these two, So yeah, that's why I believe, to be honest with you, why, it's been a success. Yeah.
So a very different sound for both of you. How did coming up with the Asian type sound, I want to say Chinese, I want to say Japanese, but how did that come about?
Well, we were looking at the use of different sounds, like Oriental sounds, like especially Asian music and stuff. And we just found that if you fuse that with boom bap hip hop, you have a certain energy and vibe, but you can also have a certain delicacy as well about the tunes. So you've got a broad spectrum, like Samurai Nation as an example is a really hard-hitting tune. And then you've got Rise of the Fallen as well, which is so delicate. We've not played that tonight. That's something that will be on the actual CD. If you've copped a CD, you'll hear it. Okay, but that tune in particular is just so different from anything else that's on the actual pieces, and it just shows the diversity of what we've been sampling and what we potentially can do as well. So, yeah, that's why it's so good as on a spectrum. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, very different from what you both have done before. And Lonsky, you're from the point of view of lyrical ability. The levels have gone up tenfold. Not that it's gone up. It's just different. I'm not saying it's,
Basically, you're calling me whack. What's Donna saying is, I used to be whack, innit? No, it's so good.
That's not what I'm saying. But your lyrical ability on this track is it's gone up there. I haven't even got a word for it. So, did you feel different doing this project?
Honestly, honestly speaking, it's just because of the fact that I've been enjoying the creative process for the past 6 years. I think that's the reason why, if I'm honest with you. And like I said, not just, collaborating with Simon or with Zubair, but collaborating with a hell of a lot of other people as well. So again, one of the tracks we didn't perform tonight, which was called Seasons, my bad, Seasons. That features a Malaysian artist called Mona Rosa Lian. You know, and it's just amazing to being able to work with not just artists from within our local scene or the UK, but outside of that as well. But in terms of, from a writing standpoint, I'll be honest with you, it was just, you know what, this has come to my head, let me write it down, and we'll go in and we'll record it. With the whole project, we weren't in the same room. So Simon would make his beats at home, I would get on with the lyrics at home. And then the only time we would know what's going on is when we go to the studio.
Incredible, yeah.
And that's how we've been working, you
Incredible.
know?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Incredible. Right. The videos we've just watched obviously tell a story. Are you able to give us any insight into that story at the moment, or is that due?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So
I feel like I watched a bit of a mini series there.
Well, that's it. That was the whole aim. So the story is about a Ronin, so a samurai that has no master, who ends up challenging his ex-sensei because he believes that the samurai are the architect of their own demise. So he starts questioning their virtues, so their code. So the samurai, they follow a code called Bushido. So that's what the story is about. Yeah, that's what the story is about. I don't want to give too much away. This is the thing, because
okay, that's fine.
should I just let them know about what's happening next?
No,
If you want to give them a little bit, obviously you must.
All right, cool. So no, I have to speak to the director here,
Yeah,
innit?
you have
For
to
real.
speak to the director.
So basically these 5 that you've seen, we're planning to do another 5 to conclude the storyline. So the reason why we're doing 10 in total is because those that know me know I'm a very big anime fan, Japanese style cartoons, and basically a lot of modern anime series, they have run about 10 to 11 episodes per season. So that's why we're going down this road. So in the next project, which is going to be bigger and better, you already know about that, inshallah. Yeah, the samurai visuals, they will conclude. Just because I just feel as if we go over 10, then it might start diluting. Don't want to do that. And we've got other ideas as well. We've got other universes to create and scenarios to create. Yeah, so we've been very, very busy.
Excellent. Right, so in terms of the fighting scenes, were there any broken bones or anything whilst we were practicing those?
Okay, put it this way. I got my backside handed to me in every video. Seriously, right? None of us wore any formal protection at all. Again, we're not trained in martial arts. We're not trained in combat, sword fighting, that's it. Literally, for the first video that you saw there, I was making it up on the spot as we were going on when we were rehearsing. And then afterwards, couple of clips, you know, Zubair saw them and he was like, okay, you guys need to work on your foot movement as an example. You know, I remember when we were rehearsing with Shubs in the gym, so Titanium Kickboxing Gym, hold tight Jamie Knox, you know, for allowing us to rehearse in the gym. There were some close calls where I think Shubs almost got his head knocked off by Simon. I know when we was recording it, Shubs got Simon in the... he landed on the rocks and he almost got kicked in the private area, and that wasn't really nice. I mean, with the first video, I strangled him and I didn't even know. The end shot where, you know, I've got the sword to his throat, I didn't even know. I ended up strangling him accidentally. And then the water scene that you saw, so the 4th video, that was fun. Because we shot that in the middle of December, freezing cold water, right? Warehouse, basically. I fell whilst I had him in a bear hug. He ended up bruising his ribs. I'm so lucky that I didn't catch pneumonia, if I'm honest with you. Was there any more accidents? I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, and the last video, you know where you see the female warrior, Sir Alex, kick me? Right, so basically, I slipped. I ran and I slipped. Almost felt like a big boot from The Undertaker for those that watch wrestling, innit? But yeah, we've had a lot of injuries. Luckily, nobody's had to go to pay a visit at the hospital.
That's
so that was
good.
nice. That was nice.
That's good. That's good. Right. I think I'm going to open it up to the audience now. Now, I think I'm going to go down the stairs, and so just give me a minute. Right. Who's got questions?
During, obviously, of the lockdown period, did you find that kind of era beneficial for you as an artist, where obviously you got more time to practice, kind of more time, I don't know, just thoughts and feelings of what's going on around the world in that particular time?
Yeah, so personally, lockdown was a blessing in disguise.
Sorry, that's for each three of you as well.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, for me, the lockdown was a blessing in disguise, just because I had more time to work on my creativity, so to work on the lyrics, to work on the scripts, think about the different choreographies that we were going to go through.
In terms of myself, we had the first EP, which is Rise of the Fallen, which we already had completed, basically. And the pandemic gave me the chance to actually work on the second set of tunes that you've seen the visuals for today, which is Shadows and Dust. So when you put both of those projects together, you actually have the CD that we've got at the back now, which is the Samurai Nation EP.
Yeah, in regards to the whole the pandemic and stuff like that, I mean, it was a bit of a hindrance, but I mean, to be fair, it's just about just making the best of an opportunity like that, and actually, because to be fair, with the creative side of things, I mean, in regards to filming at locations, I mean, it was a blessing because there wasn't that much traffic, or there weren't that many people. Do you know what I mean? So in that kind of sense, it kind of worked in our favor when we were doing what's it called? The first, near enough all of them were outside, so except for one. So in that kind of sense, I mean, it kind of worked in our favor. Besides, we had to keep the crews very small. Like we would have liked to obviously have a few more extra people for help, but I mean, we kept it obviously to the guidelines that we needed to, and yeah, man, it worked in our favor for real.
Right. Would anybody else like to ask a question? Oh, I've got two people. This lady over here. I'll come back to you, sir. Hi there. What's your name?
Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
What was your favourite part to do of the videos? All three of you.
Favorite part of the videos, yeah? That's a loaded question. I can't even lie. You know what? I could easily say all of the installments that we've done, I can't pick just one because each of them, basically, when I spoke to Simon and Lone, originally when they approached me for these projects, they said, this is the idea, and this is what they wanted to do. And I said to them that if I'm going to obviously work with you guys, fair enough for the fact that we know each other, and obviously we've done a video before that, which was Apple Tree. I did tell them that I'm only going to be happy to take on these projects if each project each video we do, we outdo ourselves. So every time we did the installments, we always try to take it a step, higher basically. So, but I mean, to be fair, if I was to kind of mention one, it'd be very hard. I'll be honest with you, because they all got their own little bits in them that like I don't know, there's certain bits where I like, with even Samurai Nation. I mean, we built a set. I mean, we built that and we copied. Took inspiration from Stranger Things. For anyone that's familiar with that, we wanted to kind of create a black void, so that was pretty good as well. So we actually built a set, and that was an achievement in itself. And the water was really cold, and I felt like I was kind of being when I'm in the moment, I really want to get some good shots. I become numb to the actual environment, and I'll make sure that I get the shots. But obviously, it's at the mercy. It's obviously they're at the mercy of me saying that we've got the shot or we haven't. So obviously they do look at me like they want to get the bow stuff and hit me with it on the head. But we get the shots that we want, and yeah, that's it really.
Yeah. For me, I would say out of all of them, I have to pick the first one, Ballad of a Warrior. And that's because it set the bar for everything else that came afterwards. Again, like Born Ready Films was saying, some of the locations actually we created. So, for example, we created a Japanese hut in my garden, which you guys got to see in the third video and the fourth video. But yeah, Ballad of a Warrior, definitely, just like I said, just because it set the bar. And we got a lot of feedback from it when we released it. You know, there was a lot of people that were contacting us, not just from the UK, but from all over the world, really. So yeah, that's definitely the one I've got to say for me.
You see, for me, it's hard to tell, like, pick one from all of them. But I'd have to agree with Hamza here. Like, the Ballad of the Warrior, that was the one for me that kick-started everything. It's the one where he kind of called me up and went, hey, I've got this crazy idea. Let's have a fight on camera dressed like samurais, you know? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm game, you know? So, and that is literally what started the whole process off. And it's taken us till now and several years to get to this point. But, yeah, amazing work. And, yeah, really enjoyed doing all of the videos, to be fair with you.
Right, thank you. So I've got Ishmael here. What's your question?
In terms of filming wise, which film that when you lot did had the most challenges and like most difficulties in creating?
Definitely Samurai Nation, just because the fact that the room was cold. So we took some of the young people there to have a look at how it's like to be on a film set or music video set, if you want to call it, and how to create film sets as well. Yeah, it took us quite a while to fill the pool up with water, and then yeah, just fighting in the water, really, man. Like, honestly, it was cold. It was to the point where, like, there's some stuff that I can't really mention, but like I was saying certain stuff, right? That's how cold it was, basically, you know. But yeah, Samurai Nation, definitely, that was the most challenging one from my point of view.
I mean, going back into obviously Samurai Nation, obviously what we did is when we built the set, obviously it was something like, you know, we were trying to do something different. So you can imagine the set design that we designed, was the size of this room technically. So we thought it'd be easy to fill water to like 1-2 inches. But we were like, yeah, we just need that much. It won't take that long. Yeah, we were wrong about that. I mean, it took about 2 days. It took 2 days because the guy that obviously, like, the location we filmed at, it was inside a warehouse, and obviously we had to, the water pressure was low as well, which obviously the person that we were using the venue didn't exactly tell us this, so it took longer than it actually needed to. But even extracting the water after we were done with the set, that was a whole process in itself, because often people think, you know, you film and then you're done and you can go home and call it a day, but we were in charge of actually like dismantling it as well, like even with the backdrops and all that stuff. So that was quite a challenge in itself, but I'm happy that we did it for real, and I feel like it, you know, it stands the test of time, I feel.
I'm going to have to mention climbing on the roof of the warehouse to set up the hut. That's what I am going to do. Well, I was the one on the roof. I literally, probably the worst experience for me was laying on a warehouse roof trying to build a hut and get the roof of our hut watertight while it was raining. So I'm laying on a roof with water coming down towards me. That was the worst bit of the whole thing for me. It truly was.
I mean, if you want to see the video, obviously, just make sure you follow us on TikTok, because it's definitely on TikTok. There's a small clip there where you can hear me just basically go in Simon, and Simon's just like, he's scared, man, for real. I'm just there laughing my head off, innit? I'm just evil like that.
Okay, thank you for that one. Right, any more questions? Hi, what's your name? Megan.
Hello. In terms of the filming and the videos, how much was pre-planned with like scripts and how much was like improv?
Ooh, okay, you can answer that first, bro.
Okay, so how much was that pre-planned? I mean, that is literally, to be honest, I mean, you could say even a year ago we kind of knew what we wanted to do. Because again, with this kind of the nature of what we wanted to do, because we wanted to make so many parts, we had to be very organized. So, because you can't just shoot one video and then try to plan the next one and the next one, because what happens is there's certain things that you want to basically basically introduce earlier in the other installments, so you can kind of basically when it's the end, when it's like the last video that we did, there were certain things that kind of basically came full circle to the first video, so we had to basically plan it way in advance. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, that was like a year of just going back and forth and kind of like with Lone and Simon, we would kind of go over the scripts because he would have a one night basically session of just writing stuff down of scripts, and then he would send it to me, and then we'd have like a 3-way call, and we'd work out the actual script writing, and we'd be like, then we'd just talk about what would be more viable and what wouldn't be, because again, we can have so many ideas, but obviously during during even the whole the pandemic, there were certain things that kind of, I mean, it was a blessing, but at the same time, there were a lot of things we had to take into consideration. So again, it was one of them ones where we had to kind of work out what is realistic for us and what can we do. So there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of planning, and we had to take some of the bits that hopefully we can introduce in the later installments that we're going to do. But yeah, I mean, I would say it was a good, it's been over a year of obviously what we would do before we even filmed anything, if I'm honest with you. But yeah.
In terms of improvisation, so Ballad of the Warrior towards the end, that was improvised. His hat wasn't supposed to cover his face. The ending was supposed to be really different. Actually, I was supposed to stab him in the back. And then for Lyrical Samurai, when I'm walking and you can see basically me kicking, what's it called? What's the thing called? Incense sticks. That was totally just random. I just got up because I was in character mode, and then I've kicked it, and then they're like, yo, this is good. Can we do that again, please? I'm thinking, what else was improvised? Oh, yeah, the kick where Alex kicked me in the chest. That was definitely improvised.
What else was improvised? The whole, and also Samurai Nation. There was sections of Samurai Nation that were completely improvised, literally on the fly. Certain holds, certain things that we do, and yeah, we had no plan. We just literally tagged them together, and what you've got at the end is basically Zubair's great work. So basically he's put everything together in such a way that it looks amazing as well.
Just to add to what Simon said, I mean, to be fair, I can't take all the credit because obviously it's down to these guys, obviously the concept they have. But, one thing I've learned during the years of actually filming was you write a script 3 times. So basically when you write a script, you obviously wrote it that time. Then when you film it, you write the script again because you're filming it and you're going to pick and choose what you're going to add from the script. And then when you edit it, you actually rewrite it again. So you write it 3 times. So I mean, to be fair, I can take credit with the editing, but I mean, to be fair, these guys have literally done an amazing job. I mean, considering they've never, they've never done any fighting before, unless I don't know about it. But I mean, obviously, we're always going to try and improve, but I feel like it's been a good journey, man. I just thought I'd add that in there, by the way.
Okay, so I think we've got room for a couple more questions. Anybody else got something they'd like to ask? All right, let me just come over here. Hello?
Ooh, geez,
we've met, haven't we? Yes.
Yeah, massive admiration for everything you've done. So from a youth education partnership perspective, you've kind of got young people involved in the project, and you are situating yourself as role models for them going forwards. And I just thought it'd be interesting to know who your influences and role models were as filmmakers and musicians.
So as a musician, I'd have to say Nas. He's my favorite artist of all time. He was definitely a huge influence on me. In terms of filmmaking, I'm gonna have to say Kira Kurosawa. Just because, again, he was a huge inspiration in terms of the samurai films that he created. I mean, the script really was inspired by several movie franchises and games. So, example, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, Mortal Kombat, and then game-wise, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. So, yeah, that's the reason why, for me, why we've created what we've created, really.
My inspiration, if I'm honest with you, is just growing up. I used to be around, even with my dad, he used to love watching these Bollywood films. If I'm honest with you, so I'm not even gonna front. He used to love watching the end credits. I used to find that mad. I used to be like, why are you not fast forward? Why are you watching that? But then as I grew up, I realized that that's actually that's a crazy like habit to have. Like you appreciate the actual people that are behind the actual, the work. And obviously, as I get older and the more I study about film, I appreciate that it's not just one person behind the actual camera or whatever. Like it takes a whole team, and you just respect it a little bit more. And that's what art is about. It's about coming together and doing stuff, like where you can create something that's like it's took so many people's vision, and you've been able to line it up so it comes into this one like package or video or film clip, whatever you want to call it. It just basically lines up like that. And my inspiration, if I'm honest with you, is just it's a mixture of so many different things, from like hip hop to like just even like that with Wu-Tang. Like look how that their stuff was just highly influenced by like even like how they used to talk about the Shaolin and all that stuff. Like I found that kind of mad because they kind of even like with like New York, they kind of made the boroughs like how they made them, like they separated them into different things. And I found that really interesting. And for me, if I'm honest with you, like just watching films where like the like even Tarantino and Scorsese and stuff like that, I just feel like when you can watch a film and you can zone out, I think that's when you've done a job, and like they've done a good job where you can just forget about the long day that you've had, and you can just like relax and you don't have to like worry about anything. I think that's the kind of journey I want to actually take people on, and that's what kind of inspires me, if I'm honest with you, that if people can do that, I want to do that. Do you know what I mean? I want to make sure that I can kind of take people on a journey. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's for 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, that's what I aspire to be as. And yeah, I mean, there's more I could answer to that, but I think obviously we'd be here for like another 3 hours, so I have to kind of keep it short.
I'm guessing for myself, it's a large Wu-Tang influence, and that's pretty obvious. But to be fair with you, like not trying to like give these guys a bigger ego than they've already got, but like I'm inspired by these guys because they make me fire. They push me in directions where I didn't think I'd ever go, and do things that I never thought I'd ever try. So from releasing my own music to sitting on the stage right now talking to you guys, I didn't think that I'd ever be in a position to do that. Obviously, I've been a DJ my whole career. I've done up and down the country, playing all the different gigs, playing in different places. But this is just something different, and it's like these guys are the ones that have pushed me right up to where we are now, and beyond for the next project too. So yeah, I'd say these guys are just as influential as Wu-Tang and everyone else.
Mr. Photographer, okay.
I had to ask a question. I had to ask a question. Okay, so props to the young people for coming out, and some of them it was their first time performing, and the way exactly make noise for them, please make noise for them. Big 'em up, big 'em up. So in terms of like that happened, and they pretty much smashed it. They were really good, and then you guys came up, and then you had the young people lined up with the props, the weaponry, and with the Trump masks. I know, like after was it before or after Political, they dragged you off the stage and during. Sorry, yeah. So from my perspective as an audience member watching that while I was photographing, I saw that there's scope for more to happen on stage. And what's the question I want to ask is, what is your thoughts on how would you? We've got the videos, we're going to have more installments coming in, we've got music, we're always going to have more music coming in. What's the scope of you developing the live stage act? Like, to the point where you've got a stage act happening, you've got actors, you've got fighters fighting, all of that, and then you're taking it on tour. What's your thoughts on that? What would you guys like to do? And is that something that you've thought about? And how would you develop that if you were to?
So, I think we have spoken about that before between us. Having maybe the videos turn into like a play, live play. Maybe even a musical, really, if I'm honest with you, because as you can see, the visuals and the music, they work as one. And when we were doing the choreography, one of the things that we said, and actually, in fact, Zuber was the one that pointed it out, was we need to make sure that it looks like a dance. That it's not just 2 or 5 people fighting against one another. It needs to move to the rhythm of the music. So definitely, if we wanted to up our game, convert it into a live data piece as an example. In terms of performances, if I just, what's the word? I'm losing my words, sorry. So if I had to analyze what we did today, I think one of the things that I would have liked to do is maybe use different color lights for each track. Maybe a bit more of the scenery at the background as well. I think that's something that we need to take into consideration. Yeah, more costume changes. There was supposed to be 2-3 costume changes, but unfortunately, I've grown out of some of them, you know, so I'm struggling, do you know what I mean? But yeah, for me, definitely, that would be the case. And potentially also getting the young people involved in some of the acting in the videos, you know. That's definitely the next step for us. And I know I've got a couple of people lined up. I've spoken to some of them. They know who they are. So yeah, we're looking forward to that, you know. When that takes place, it's when the time's right. You know, we're not going to rush anything at all. Like we've said, you know, this has taken quite a while for us to do. Yeah, we're going to continue taking our time, really. Nothing. Oh, man. All right, cool.
Okay, so
Cool.
one more question and that will be it. Has anybody got a question?
We've got another one. Ismail's got an... Oh, okay,
Okay.
Marco.
So during your filming of your project, at these locations, were there ever any onlookers or people who wanted you to kick you out, basically?
Okay, we had lots of dog walkers. So every sort of 2 minutes with Ballad of a Warrior, we'd actually pause and let people walk behind us with their dogs. Or the dogs will just come running through the middle of the set as we were filming. So yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. We actually learned from that experience to bring high-vis jackets. So as soon as people see the high-vis jackets, they go, whoa, we're going to leave you way alone, you know, go away. So that's what we ended up doing. Like every single time, we'd actually have like a proper setup then at that point, where we'd have our crew and we'd have everyone in high-vis and we'd get left alone then. And yeah, you probably know one of the locations that we've been to where we left the carpet. Did you see the carpet? Yeah. So that's probably still in the wilderness right now. So yeah, if you want a carpet, feel free, have it.
Yeah, in regards to the location, I mean, how long were we supposed to film for?
So I think originally we planned to film for, I think, about 2 hours, and it turned out to be 10 hours afterwards.
Yeah, near enough. And I mean, I've been filming for some, you know, a good amount of years now. I never knew dog walkers could actually like add that much time onto our schedule. But I mean, to be fair, we obviously, the funny thing is, we actually were the initial, the structure of the actual, like the first video we did, which was Ballad. We would have been done in like 2 hours, if I'm honest with you. But because of like, we kept stopping and starting. And then the funny thing is, when the sun actually gets blocked by the clouds, then there's not continuity with the actual shots. So the shots don't look like they're matching. So you have to wait for the sun to come back out, and then you can film again. So in fact, that added more time on. So it was the dog walkers mixed with a bit of clouds, and you have 10 hours shooting time.
Yeah, just adding on to the whole Ballad of a Warrior experience. Let's just say there was a elderly Caucasian lady that was making some
Obstacles.
innuendos and yeah, let's just say she was making certain comments about how we were dressed, and I know seriously the color of our skin as well, and I had to tell her about herself. But what was nice about it was we just had so many people standing around just watching us, literally. In fact, we actually had a family, yeah, so grandparents coming up to us saying, oh, listen, would you guys mind if you could take a picture with our grandchildren? We were like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, cool. So that was like an extra 15, 20 minutes. And then you had a few like little kids that were like, oh, can we be in the video? We were like, yeah, maybe in the next one. No, but, you know, every time that we have filmed outside, people have been nice in general. Just that little one incident at Ballad made us realize, you know what, I think we need to definitely get high-vis jackets. So, yeah.
Okay, I said there was only one more question, but this is the very last question.
Okay.
So with your last project, I believe was Black Thought, that had like a set theme. Now
Okay.
Taoreta's got like a Japanese theme.
Yep.
Are we looking to see you evolve into different themes, or are you going to carry on down the Japanese route?
I can't give too much away, man. So throughout each project that I've done, there's always been a theme. And with this next Taoreta project that we'll be doing, it will still have the Japanese type of theme in there. But in terms of the Lone Ski project, let's just say I'm sitting on a massive project, but if I wanted to, I could split it into 4 projects basically. But people that have been following me for years know that I take absolutely the mick to release. So you won't probably hear that Lone Ski project for a year or so, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, we are going to be diving into different themes. We've thought about, diving into the whole cyberpunk theme as a theme. Sorry, I'm losing my words. So the cyberpunk theme, we've been thinking about maybe looking at a Western theme as well. That's very interesting. Yeah. And then probably like a mafia type of theme as well. That's the one. Like, I'm buzzing. I can't wait, man. But yeah, music-wise.
Yeah. I'll just add one little piece onto the end of what Humza's just said, and that is that we already actually do have a couple of tracks already recorded for the new project. Like I say, it's going to be another year or so before we start to trickle those out, but you will hear them, and they are formidable. They are really good. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled, and your ears as well.
In fact, you know what? We're going to do something special. We've never done this before, yeah? So if you sign up to the website, so if you go on to www.taoreta.co.uk, that's Taoreta, and you sign up to our mailing list, so it's at the first homepage, you scroll to the bottom, I will actually make sure that I'll send you an exclusive track. You know, again, this track, so it's not been out. I've performed it at festivals. It's been played. No, I don't even think it's been played on radio. Yeah. No, it's not been played on radio as well. But every time I perform it at festivals, people absolutely love it. So yeah, if you sign up to the mailing list, we will send you that track. Again, that's an exclusive one.
Is that sort of within the next 24 hours?
Yeah. You sign up, boom, that's it.
Okay.
Because we know who signs up, so we'll personally email you
Awesome.
and say thank you, you know. Again, this ain't released. I was supposed to release it like 2 years ago, but I didn't because I'm a bit long like that. Yeah, that as well. Is there anything you want to add? You're quiet, bro. Ask you a question. Okay. In fact, yeah, you know what? I'll ask you a question. So, who is the most difficult and challenging to work with on the set?
Just both of you. I mean, to be fair, it was too much. No, but I mean, to be fair, it's been a good journey, man. I feel like, to be honest, I mean, Simon, there was a lot of challenges that we had that obviously he was pushing himself, and I'll be honest with you, this is not me just trying to stroke these guys' ego or nothing like that. But honestly, like Simon, sometimes obviously like, he did literally, like, I'm surprised he's not limping because his knees, like, he used to bash it against the stones when we were actually filming outside. So, but he kept pushing himself even when he was in uncomfortable position, like, situations, yeah. And with Lone, I mean, to be fair, like, there were certain things obviously we did as well and we actually pulled through. And like I said, like, there's not much I could say. I mean, the fact is as well, the one good thing about these guys is they don't dismiss when you have an idea. And as a creative, when you have ideas and people dismiss what you have to say, then it's like it's not really an interesting kind of environment you want to be around. You know what I mean? Because you want people to be able to reciprocate what you got, to share basically. So yeah, man. But overall, they've been able to. There's a lot of ideas they had and I had, and we were able to create a synergy together. And I think that's what's been able to make us, create this body of work. And obviously, not to downplay these videos or anything like that, but obviously the next batch of work is going to be bigger and better, basically. That's what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Right, so, I mean, talking about synergy, you can actually see it. I don't know if the energy between you three is very special. And, as I'm sure I speak for everybody when we say we look forward to more of your work.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for all coming. You know, I know it's Mother's Day, so I know a lot of you have made an effort, so thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Shout out to the young people for behaving as well. You know what I mean? You know? But yeah, I think we're going to call... We've got a lot of Marty fans in the house, isn't it? No, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Is it? Okay. You're the best, yeah? Yeah. Ah, well, we'll see on Wednesday when you pop into, yeah. No, but seriously, thank you for coming to the event. We really do appreciate it. Do you guys want to add to anything? Oh, okay, cool.
Thank you all guys for coming. Obviously, I appreciate it. And obviously, like, you know, because from the start, we always kind of worried whatever we're going to do, if people are going to be able to appreciate, you know, like, understand what we're trying to do. Because this was something that was out of our comfort zone to a certain degree. Because this was something that we didn't want to do a typical thing of like, oh, let's just shoot just a normal video, basically. We wanted to kind of do a different kind of spin on it. But yeah, man, I mean, to be fair, we do aspire to make sure that you guys enjoy the next, you know, installments as well. And I appreciate you guys coming down and for your questions. I appreciate that, for real.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's turned out today, including the students who all performed amazingly, and everyone else that's here. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that's in the audience. And thank you, Y Theatre, for having us. It's been amazing.
Okay, so I'd like to, Born Ready Films, yeah, look them up, follow them on the social media, Taoreta, all the social medias, sign up onto the website, and watch this space, is all we can say here. Right, couple of things that I just, as a collective, shout out to Corvair for all the photos. Looking forward to seeing all of those. Massive shout out to Bex, the technical director, without whom, you know, we wouldn't have been able to do quite a lot of stuff. Thank you very much to the Y Theatre for allowing us to use this space. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's filming me and I don't know your name.
Tom.
Tom.
Gorilla Nature.
Gorilla Nature. I like it. Gorilla Nature. He's been silently walking around and doing his thing. Give him a shout out. We got Mehul at the back there, and no. Wait. Yes for Mehul, but I can't remember your name. Sonny, on the merchandise, give them a shout out. And we want to say a massive shout out to the Youth Education Project, all their staff and the students. Look forward to seeing them in the future. But these gentlemen here, these three, looking forward to seeing what they've got to come. So thank you very much.
Respect, thank you.
Oh, there was one person I forgot to mention.
Yeah. Hold tight, Donna. Come on, man. Did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Actually, you know what?
The food, sorry. The food was...
I was going to jump onto that. I'm
taking some away with me. And I had 2 portions. I did have 2. We've also got to thank the Arts Council.
Yeah, man, definitely.
I forgot to mention them. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
And thank you for being so responsive and, you know, making this a pleasant day. Thank you.
Thank you.